Go ahead.
Okay, thank you and welcome to, do I have to push that?
Yes,
Oh, it's a.
Our
Oh,
meeting
yeah,
is being
yeah,
recorded. Got it?
no, use the mouse.
I gotta use the mouse, yeah. Well, yeah, move it, no,
You need to,
you gotta move the mouse over there. I think, got it. Oh. Okay. Good evening. This is the regular meeting of the Town of New Canaan Police Commission, January 18th, 2023. Opening up minutes from the previous meeting of December 19th. Any corrections?
Two.
Okay.
On the second page, under retirement of Chief Krolikowski, second line, it says him well in his new, that should say position.
Position. This is missing an I or SI.
And then
Yep.
in the third paragraph down, third line from the bottom, Walsh to the rank of Deputy Chief of Police effective January 1, 2023, subject to a customary 3-month,
Okay, yeah,
just to conform it with the earlier one.
yeah. That's good. You're the lawyer. There you go. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, hearing none. Motion to approve minutes.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Stable move.
okay. Monthly reports, chief.
we seem to be tracking well with our budgets. You may see on salaries, educational, there was a clerical coding error where medical certification was drawn from the salaries education budget line. Okay, that's being corrected with finance. Other than that, all other accounts seem to be tracking for that as well as for the animal control.
Seems like all the accounting was caught up from
Yes.
before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Staffing report, we're in good shape. We have officer graduating the academy next week. Anson and one officer is currently in the academy. Another officer is doing his comparative training, which is anticipated. We won't do that. Oh, is it? So he'll be
that
field
Jake?
training. So we'll have two officers out on field training in the next couple of weeks. And then we were approved for the hiring process. That's item D. We'll talk more about that though for post academy seats upcoming in April or spring.
Okay.
Other than that, we're in good shape staffing wise. Monthly statistics, nothing new to report there. We seem to be tracking consistent with your past. The notables are the obviously the location checks and the school checks. Shane's doing a phenomenal job. We attended the CAD meeting and they're very, very appreciative of his efforts. The elementary schools are
That's great.
very appreciative of having him around, and they give tremendous level of comfort. You could feel it in how the administrators are talking about him. He's providing a lot of relief. So I think it's working very well.
Good.
I note that the car thefts were down substantially last year from basically in half, from 39 to 19. It's good news.
So
Locking their cars, I hope.
Yeah. And
Take
maybe
the
the
keys
criminals are staying away.
Nah, I think they're just locking the cars. The criminals are still out there. Anything else?
that's it.
Okay, now, moving on, topic number 3, election of police commission officers, the annual vote. Do I hear any nominations for chairman?
I conduct the election, that's why I'm here for.
I don't think you
The charter,
do.
at the call of the first selectman,
Okay, make your call it. Make your call it.
I'll call of the election,
Fine,
right? That's why I'm here.
fine, call the election then.
So I would ask for nominations for chair.
Okay, I nominate Jim McLaughlin.
Second,
Second.
any further nominations for chair?
No,
Hearing none. All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Secretary.
I got it.
Well, you said you're the secretary, you're the recording
No.
secretary.
No,
Oh,
No,
Who's your secretary at your commission?
right now, he is, and now,
So, wait,
I'm gonna-
nomination for secretary.
yes, Caleb Bennett.
For a second. Second.
I'm sorry?
Yes, you're a
Second,
second.
Caleb.
Yes, I second,
Yes, yes,
absolutely, yes.
All in favor of Caleb?
Aye.
There,
It's my duty to do this and also to thank you for your service to the town, each of you.
Thank you.
thank you.
now, do you want to change seats?
We can stay in the same seat for now. We'll switch next meeting.
Just let them out of here.
I
I
play
go,
music
I
and
go
we'll
here.
change seats.
I go back to here,
Oh.
you go there,
Gotcha,
and you
okay,
go here.
Okay,
So we just
Okay.
gotta go around, all right?
perfect.
when the music stops.
Stops.
we'll-
So hopefully there's 3 seats. Okay, given that's the case, you now take over, Mr. Chair. Okay, so we're going to traffic lights, so it's all yours.
So the next order of business is we're going to be voting on this question regarding a traffic light at Heritage Hill. And I guess this was initiated by a citizen, David Kirby. And he spoke with Tiger. Tiger, do you want to tell us what your thoughts are on this?
Sure. Well, congratulations. So we received not just a request from Mr. Kirby, but over the years, we've received a couple of complaints at this intersection. It's Heritage Hill, Main Street, Locust, Route 124. So in essence, it's as you pull up from Heritage Hill onto Main Street, you've got an option left or right, 2 lanes, and there's no turn on red designation by the state. And Mr. Kirby, as well as a couple of other residents, have asked for that to be changed to to get rid of the no turn on red designation. Since it's a state light, we would have to ask the state, and the only and the LTA police commission would have to do that, would if they so chose, would have to make that decision, that designation and that request. So I told Mr. Kirby, as part of the efforts that John and I have for traffic calming, that we would bring it forward to the commission, let the commission decide whether or not they felt it was a good idea to have this no turn on red designation removed, and then make that recommendation to the state, since it is a state light and it's a state designation.
Can I ask, you met with Mr. Kirby?
Yes, I met with him and spoke with him. That's correct.
It appears he lives at 24 Father Peters Lane. What's his interest in this?
I think it's I'm not quite certain, but I think it's probably on his daily commute to the train station. But that's all I suspect.
Okay,
He says he travels it often, and it's a nuisance, and the fact that he can't necessarily turn right on red and continue on, and it delays his process at the light. I travel that way myself every day. I take a left at the light to come to the town hall. I think he takes a right at the light, comes up and around, and heads to the train station, but I'm not quite certain.
okay. Andrew, are you now fulfilling the role that John used to fulfill?
This will be my parting.
Okay, all right.
Pass it on to Andrew. I've worked with Tiger, obviously, on a lot of these, and interestingly, several months ago, we established on Locust Avenue, the no turn on red sign was up by the traffic light where they traditionally are, but because it's difficult and not as visible, we put an additional one on the crosswalk sign to make it more visible, because that is a challenging intersection, and I too travel that way frequently, almost every day. And there's nothing really to support this request. There's no traffic backups. There's no accidents, which is a good thing. We don't want to create a situation where it's more dangerous, but there is, minimal accidents, certainly none caused to right turn on red. The challenge is if you're on Heritage Hill and you want to turn that right, it's very difficult to see that oncoming traffic coming from Locust Avenue. You can certainly have good enough line of sight to see Main Street traffic. But when Locust Avenue has that green light and cars are traveling on a green light, it's essentially from almost behind you, and it's difficult to see, so we don't want to put people in a unsafe position when they're doing a right turn on red. And that's why it's been built turn on.
Right, it's not a simple,
No,
It's not a T
Four
intersection, and it's
corners,
not a good line of sight. onto
right,
Locust
because you're
Avenue.
kind of seeing people coming up the hill and they're accelerating up the hill because they got a green
Right.
light.
And
And
the
if
important
they-
thing is that there's no traffic backups there. It's a relatively smooth operating for the legs that it has. It has, Main Street, North and South, Heritage Hill, and Locust Avenue. It's a pretty quick turn of light and it transitions pretty quickly, even with pedestrian traffic pushing the pedestrian sign. So, right.
Yeah, I personally don't think that the state would entertain the idea. But to John's point, it's as you mentioned, if it was just the intersection of Heritage and Main, it might be a different situation because the sight line, seems to be adequate heading down Main, but Locust is tucked away.
Yeah.
So the moment that the light changes to offer a green to Locust, you can't necessarily see anyone coming from there. And it makes it much more difficult to see. And I don't feel that the state would change this designation. And it's very difficult to support the request. But I told the gentleman that I would bring it forward and for a discussion and bring it to the LTA, the police commission's notice, and we would go from there.
all right, having discussed it and considered it,
Comment as an ex-official member of this commission,
yes,
as a former commuter,
yes,
who went through that intersection every day. Commuters get what the problem with that light is, right? You're trying to go to the train, you're waiting for the red light to change. For years and years, it wasn't red stop on right turn. So I get complaining because I appreciate having done that for years. It's annoying. If it's a safety, then was a safety issue. Actually, why does the state choose to make right turn only and a light? Do they study it at the time or?
I don't know when it was changed. I don't know if Tiger has any information when it was changed. Brad.
I don't. It's all anecdotal. But
Of my 41 years here, I commuted for 20 years down that intersection. Right, and it's annoying. You weigh that annoyance versus.
but you were coming off of Heritage Hill?
If you come down 123, and a lot of people commute from the northeast part of town, you come down, if you go to the train station, you gotta wait for that light. That's why he's.
Yeah, okay.
Pretty short light.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
That's
Well,
your.
noted,
biggest
having
difference for the day.
discussed and considered it, can I,
I'll make a motion. How about that?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we do not advance this, given the safety concerns that we have.
okay, do we have a
From
second?
the chief and
Yeah,
the deputy chief.
I agree.
You have a
You got a
second?
second?
Yeah.
Yep, second.
All in favor? All right,
Much as I get it, and
yeah,
we want to speed up traffic and but it's, next thing you know, we're gonna have we just created another problem.
right,
thank you.
okay.
Thanks, Ty.
No problem. So
Hey, what's LTA? I'm sorry, I meant to ask that.
Legal Traffic Authority.
Gotta be-
That's the police commission is the designated legal traffic authority in the town.
Okay,
And the Office of State Traffic Authority will only listen to the LTA, in essence, recommendations. That's why we brought the detour to you, because they actually have to have the LTA, the Legal Traffic Authority for the town sign off.
Okay, our next order of business is the proposal for a crosswalk on Gower Road.
So this is actually, the crosswalk is present. It joins,
I'm sorry, it's updating the signs
yes, that's correct.
to have flashing lights.
Right, we recently installed a new sidewalk along the southern edge of South School, from South School down to Southwood Drive. And that brought this crosswalk into finer light, I should say. And parents came to us and asked us to take a look at upgrading the signage. Right now, we have the normal pedestrian signs with the down arrows and pedestrian crossing ahead signs for this crossing. Given the fact that we're trying to promote more foot traffic to the school, more pedestrian traffic in the area, they requested that we upgrade it to a rapid rectangular flashing beacon. So I wanted to bring that to your attention and request that approval. I think it's, given the fact that it's a school zone, given the fact that it's, we're asking, this gathers students from Douglas and Orchard, that entire area, Park Place, Faraday, that entire area towards the school. I think it's a very good upgrade for that area. So we wanted to, make you aware of the request and then request that we can upgrade the signage. I think it's a very good thing to do.
Chief, do you have anything to add?
We also agree it's probably an adequate and appropriate area to move these signs. We did receive a request from the school principal early in the school year for the same thing to improve.
Thank you.
There. And it makes sense. There's a lot of walkers in that area, a lot of school kids that don't take the bus that either go to South School or Saks, even high school, but it does concentrate the school walkers into that one area, so it makes sense. Probably a good idea.
Sounds like a good idea. Can I get a motion?
Got a motion to approve the expenditure for, and how much was it?
I think Tiger has the funding for this.
I have the funding. They're around $10,000 a pair. It's a unit, so it's around $10,000 in installation.
Is it a pair? Is it $20,000 or is it
No, it's $10,000 for the pair.
for the two lights?
That's why I changed it to the installation. So the crosswalk itself, it's $10,000 to put these up per crosswalk.
And I think the resident that made the request is online. I don't know if she wants
Is
to
that
speak.
Danielle?
Hi, yes, thank you very much for talking and considering this. A lot of the students in Orchard, Douglas, Faraday don't get the bus. And so a lot of students are walking and using that crosswalk. So I think it would be a great improvement to the safety of our students. So thank you for considering it, and it's greatly appreciated.
Okay,
Okay, so motion's made to approve the expenditure.
a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add one item. It's very similar. It's a crosswalk at South and Maple for a similar request for an upgrade of the crosswalk there.
Hey,
Like
Tiger, before you go on to that, can I just ask you something? Still at Gower,
Mhm.
when you go and repave that street, right, which will be done, and then you know what I'm gonna say. And they put up the school zone on the street, can you move it
Yes,
near the school, away from away from Old Stamford Road? And make move closer to them? And then the one going the other way, move it further east so that it, because where it was now is on the rise of the hill. So you were at the school when you saw the school zone heading west. It was just, both markers were in the wrong spot.
so you wanted, well, we were trying to stay, so that school zone marker, we're trying to stay right at the designated sign, right? So where the sign is, the marker's supposed to be, the pavement marking.
Got it. So where would that be going if you're heading east? Where would it go?
If I'm heading east, you are right, it was a little bit off. Where it should have been, the signs at the property line between the two houses, and then that should have been on the property line. It would actually be heading further west towards the intersection. I can try to go further east, but I have to go I'd want to go one full house, away we try to put all of our signs on the property line. We don't try to put it in front of anyone to then, ruin the view or the view shed from the house itself. So we can certainly look at that when we repave. I'll look at both ends and we'll see exactly where we can place them better.
Okay, so we place it at the property line of the school, right?
No, we tried to, because it's such a pedestrian area, we're trying to stay in front of the school zone, try to designate where that school zone would be actually further away from the school a little bit. not at the property line, because the property line would be just past Southwood. So at that point in time, you're into the school, and we felt it was a little too close at that point. So that's why you see it further down on Gower, to let people know that along Gower, we're asking, the students are walking, right? So all along Gower from Southwood, shedding up from Douglas, we wanted to slow the car before they got to the school, not necessarily at the school. That's why the markings are before.
Okay. But the one going the other way was right at the school.
Yes, that should be further,
Yeah,
the one heading, if you were heading
west.
that one should have been closer to South Avenue. We should have brought that further east.
Okay, all right. We just got those complaints from the neighbors on that, so.
Yep. I received that complaint as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Next order,
So yes,
South and
wants to-
South and Maple.
South.
South of Maple.
Oh, yeah,
This is a
south of
state
Maple.
road, So I think we just need LTA approval, and then I think Tiger has to bring it to the state, but let Tiger talk to it.
Right, exactly. So given the fact of, the library will be opening, and the library is, some of their people are going to be parking across at St. Aloysius, and then St. Aloysius is still using the library as their library, and the library becoming more of a hub, that we were requested to upgrade the signage at South and Maple across South Avenue. There's an existing crosswalk there now, and go from what we just presented now, which was go from the signs to the RFB. There's one at the library at present. They just put it in the other day for the pedestrian crossing from Center School across to the library. And we're requesting now from at Maple Street across South Avenue, from the library over to from one side of the street to the other, basically from the library over to St. A's. And that will have to go to the state for an encroachment permit. And I imagine that they'll be asking me for the LTA approval. So that's why we're here asking for that. So I can send that to, I can request the encroachment permit and tell them that the LTA is in favor, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well,
No, yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
There's going to be an increased traffic there. You also have people from the View, which is highly populated, probably going to the library as well. I mean, it's just going to be a much more heavily foot trafficked area. So, yeah.
absolutely.
okay. You get a motion?
I'll make the
You're the
motion.
motion guy
I'm the
now.
motion. Now, I make the motion to approve the new pedestrian traffic light at Maple and South Avenue.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tiger.
All right. Our next order of business is approval to move forward with the hiring process for 2 seats at the April 6, 2023 Meriden, Connecticut Police Academy. John, do you want to tell us what this is?
I'll defer it to Andrew on this. He's been,
Sure, we just got word that we were approved for 2 seats at the April 6th Meriden Police Academy. It's the first residential academy since the pandemic. They can use commuter models, so this one will now be residential again. We always ask for seats ahead of time, anticipating officers retiring. So we do have 2 officers currently in our drop plan, which is contractual, and they will be retired as of July 31st of this year. So in kind of anticipation of that, we want to fill those 2 slots ahead of time. The 2 officers would be scheduled to graduate early October, tentatively.
They would start in April and graduate in October.
Yes, and then they would go on the field training.
And who do we have lined up to take those slots?
To take slots for,
These,
we don't have any hires yet.
We'd have
for
to-
you.
we'd hire
This is to-
additional.
This is so that we can hire
Okay.
additional, go technically over complement while they're in the academy until the retirement of the other 2
Right.
officers.
That we know,
They're in the drop.
we know
plan
are
now.
coming.
Yes, they're signed up to leave on July 31st. So if you guys approve that, then we can go ahead and start the process of having peer interviews of the existing list. And then those candidates would ultimately, if we find 2 good candidates, would ultimately, or 2 or more, it's.
They would be starting on April 6th at the academy?
Yes,
So we'd have to move relatively quickly to get the new hires, right?
yes, yeah, we fit this time.
Okay. Any discussion?
Do we need any approval from HR or selectmen through?
Received it
Do we
from
need
HR.
this?
Yes,
We received it.
from HR as
Okay.
well as, yeah.
Good.
That's basically the two of them.
Yeah, got it. We just don't want to get ahead of
Basically to
ourselves.
confirm that those retirements are
They're,
locked
they're
in.
done.
Yes.
Yeah,
They're
and they
locked
are.
in.
They-
And that's the purpose for doing it,
Yeah.
is to be able to give us future planning.
Well, I'm in favor of that.
Okay,
You can make. it.
makes sense.
Okay,
All right, can I have yet another motion there from?
sure. I motion to approve to move forward with the hiring process of 2 seats at the April 6th Meriden Police Academy.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great.
Okay. All right, next order of business is the review of the general order, the revisions made with respect to use of body worn recording equipment and dashboard cameras. I had just really one question about this. Section 9 on the second page. Maybe it's a minor thing, but it says that not later than 48 hours following an officer's review of a recording under subdivision 1 of this subsection. Or if the officer does not review the recording, not later than 96 hours following the recorded incident, whichever is earlier, such recordings shall be disclosed upon request to the public. Is this something that comes out of statute, or is this simply going to be our rule? Do you know, John?
Statute.
Yes, it's see the.
It's in the statute.
CGS 29-6D subsection G
Okay.
after that.
So those timelines are locked in.
Yes,
I see.
and this is verbiage from the state model policy that we have to follow.
Okay, okay,
So, yeah, this isn't our work.
That
okay.
was that Reform Act from 2 years ago or so.
Yeah, what's that?
That was that Reform Act from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
The state passed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Didn't have much say on
yeah.
that.
Okay. Any other questions or
No.
comments on these revisions?
It was fine.
Is that why it's in blue? Because those are the state
Yeah.
mandated?
Yes. No, that's a
Blue
correction.
is all the changes to the.
Got it.
Yeah, because
Yep.
normally we just had body worn,
Yeah.
because we had body worn
Yeah.
cameras, and now we have and the state mandated dash
Got it.
mounted.
Right.
So that just updates.
Okay, any further thoughts or discussion?
I had
Hey.
some-
Yes.
I had lunch today with the first selectman of Greenwich. There again, and they were promoting the number of FOIA requests they get for body camera stops. Stop, get a lot of FOIA requests.
Not a lot for the video.
Surprised there. That they regarded it as you can stop. The FOIA, the body cam.
We're probably stopping a lot of type A's down there. For various reasons.
Not much we can do about it.
Oh, but on the other hand, I was, that they actually hired a part-time person to handle all the FOIA requests.
Wow.
So.
No, we
We
haven't,
get a lot of points, but not
not for
not
the
for the
video.
body.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the changes to the updated general order. Yeah.
I'll get a second.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, our next order of business is the course approval for Lieutenant Varenga, Sergeant Milligan, and Officer Connolly for their further education.
Any comments from? Sorry. Any comments from them?
I don't have any comments.
I'm good with it.
Okay,
You're good. You make a motion to
Um,
approve all.
I make a motion. Okay, I have no comment, but all right, I make a motion to approve for Lieutenant Franga and are we talking about the F1?
Yes, yeah. and Milligan.
Sergeant Milligan and Officer Conley.
I'll second that.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So approved. Okay. building renovation and training facility update.
Remember the.
I was there. You were there. The three of us were there.
I didn't watch it. I watched the replay, but.
Oh, building committee it's fine. We're moving along. In fact, we're going to be meeting twice a month now as things speed up. There was concern, as we've talked about, on height for the gym. It looks like if 9 feet should work. We're gonna, I know, it's one of those things I can't give up. I just want to make sure it works. I just don't want to mess up this thing. That's all. I think we'll visit a couple of gyms. You're invited along if you want to go.
Great.
Just to double check, and I'm sure it'll work, but I just want to double check.
Good.
And then we met this morning on the training facility with some, progress is being made,
Trying to find a viable location.
right? And there's sort of two, and the selectman is working on that now with his team. So, and we're all involved as well. And it'll be a tremendous facility, one that can be used by us and fire and EMS to train in, and that, as well as other departments have expressed a lot of interest in wanting to rent it out from us. I think we'd have no, as the chief has said, no problem whatsoever renting that facility out daily for years, because of the
Not
lack
that
of
we're
other
gonna
facilities.
rent it out every day.
No, we don't.
We won't have any shortage of
Oh.
people interested to utilize.
But we can then kind of recoup some of the funds that we're spending on it to build it and operating expenses. So we just got to figure out a formula. That's what
We
the,
want to balance it out. We
What
don't
the-
want to overuse it either.
Yeah.
Overburden the system or.
yeah, we're not going to make it an academy out of it. This is not going to be the new Canaan. But it will be a good train, an up-to-date training facility, that all around the country, these are in place as needed now.
Tomorrow, I think potential construction managers are touring
Here,
the site here.
good.
That's it tomorrow morning. So
Yeah, we'll
Yeah, I
have
think
we have an ordinance
there's-
rep and we'll have a construction manager. So we're going to do it the right way.
Yeah.
Get it done right the first time. We're not going to be the construction managers. It's not my expertise. But that seems to be the right process to do. We did it down at the schools and
Mhm.
we'll do it here as well. And at town hall, and it worked.
I've suggested in the past to our former chief that what is now a concept that officers from other towns and other departments might want to use it and then compensate New Canaan in return, be an effort be made to sketch that out a bit further and try to quantify for town council and the selectmen and everyone else kind of what the possible revenues would be, because my guess is I would expect that when it gets to approving, all of this cost will be considered and that will offset some of the costs. So right now it's a concept, but maybe someone could effort.
We discussed it this morning, Jim.
What's that?
We discussed it this morning. Stuart Salvini had already.
Yeah.
Started a model,
Oh, we
and
did.
he's gonna work further on that model.
Right.
Okay, well, great.
And we've got some construction people on the committee who actually do this for a living,
Right.
who will work with Stuart, take his model and just make sure it actually makes
His
sense.
model is a model.
Financial model.
We're also gonna try to
Yeah,
get a
good.
state grant. You know, the
Okay,
Westcog facility in Newtown, which they're proposing, got $1.5 million grant. That's too far away for us to go, and 900 officers potentially calling home, so we're gonna apply for a state grant.
Okay.
As a regional facility. For several other departments.
Good.
Hopefully get some money from the state.
okay. Letters of appreciation. We have a nice letter from Bell Dunlop and looks like the National Charity League for Officer Vartuli. Thank you so much for meeting and talking with our class this afternoon. We learned so much about campus safety and assault and feel so much better prepared. We appreciate your time and effort on our behalf. Thank you. It's always nice to see those. Okay. I guess any other matters?
I have none. You have any? Anything?
I guess we're ready to go to executive session. I got a motion to go to executive session. Aye.
To the department first.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What, did what?
I just said, no, we don't want to do that now.
What, the Insight article?
I'm sorry.
State of the department.
Oh, the award. member.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, I'm
No, no,
sorry.
I
I'm very
did-
sorry. Go ahead. Yes, no. That was unintentional. Go ahead.
That was totally unintentional. I saw that as the other stuff, you know, how you get in the back of the thing?
No.
No, I'm sorry.
No, I apologize.
No, I apologize.
Absolutely. And we have some important,
Yes.
Did you, folks go into second session?
No, no,
Yeah.
Not yet.
not yet.
State of the department, yes, the insight for this month is the new employee assistance program. Our new provider is KGA. You can see it offers a tremendous amount of resources to all town employees, not just our office, but a whole work-life program. It's not just emergency psychiatric help or anything like that. It's emotional health, it's parenting, elder care, legal, financial, work, nutrition services. So it's a holistic approach to wellness. So it's a great resource for our officers. And there's a couple of award citations. One's a meritorious duty award to Officer Vincenzi for his exceptional work apprehending felony suspects October 17th. And there's also a unit citation for the 11th also worked on the same night to apprehend felony suspects. So it's good work by a good team effort by everyone there involved.
When is the award ceremony?
Didn't schedule it yet. We're still getting
Okay.
waiting on some of the officer of the year awards.
Okay.
And we're gonna solidify that in this coming, so.
Okay.
And Valbo, you mentioned Valbo.
He wasn't including this one, but yes,
I got it.
Bravo. We did have a couple others that haven't been documented yet, but we will recognize them. One of which was Officer Falvo, who saved a young man's life, who was involved in a terrible accident on Old Stamford Road a few weeks ago. And then additionally, we had two officers, Officer Veras and Officer Obando, administered CPR and AED to a person that had a cardiac arrest at the YMCA on the treadmill and saved her life as well. What I understand, she's alive.
Do we know how that turned out?
Only recovering.
That's great.
Home and recovering.
Yeah.
Wow,
So,
great. How old a woman was it? Do we know?
sure. I want to say she was in her 50s. I'm not sure, but thanks to our officers, has
Yeah.
some great ahead of her. So,
Yeah.
you know, and that's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Our officers do it every day.
Yeah.
And that kid.
Fantastic. Okay. Now I guess we're ready for executive session.
I make a motion to go
Are
to
we still all in
executive
favor?
Yeah.
Okay, executive session. Okay, we've come out of executive session. Any other further business? Hearing none, I move that we adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Oh, you made the motion to
I
adjourn.
made it.
I'll second it. Okay, there you go. I second.
I-
Adjourn. Thank you.
Thank you.